Good morning. Welcome to the Jared Cast. We're back after doing just two lists because there wasn't a whole lot to watch in September. If I'm being honest, not a whole lot of new movies. I didn't really feel like reviewing TV. I didn't really feel like reviewing the new things, so I just did a couple lists just for funsies. But yeah, my name is Jared Ankanan. And with me is not a Jared. It is actually my brother Josiah. I'm kind of here for the first time, sort of the first time, because we had you on a phone call on the Halloween special last year. Um, but yeah, how you doing? How you doing?
Great. You had me on the phone. You had me incoherently expressing my love for Raw.
Yeah.
I've
How
never
rough?
even, I didn't even listen to it because I don't remember it.
Yeah, you said I'm not good at talking, but that Raw was better than Hereditary.
Well, I remember saying a bunch of points like Raw, like, oh, everything, all the points that I made for Raw, you could also make for Hereditary. And I remember hanging up and thinking, oh shit,
Yeah.
I
we
didn't say
said
any, I didn't
yeah.
say anything.
Jared said that after you hung up, he was like, "You can say the same thing about her." I was like, "I know," but I think we both wanted Raw to win. We just didn't. We were just hesitant to do it because we love Hereditary so much.
Did it win? It
Um,
didn't win?
it did win,
Oh, okay.
but then it lost to Alien, I think, or Rosemary's Baby, or something like
I
that.
need to listen to that then, the horror show then.
Yeah, I forget what won. Oh no, I know what won, but Shaun of the Dead beat The Thing. And like I don't feel guilty about it at all because it's Shaun of the Dead. It's just a bad matchup, you know. Like if it
So
was
I
The
didn't know
Thing.
if I didn't know if you spoiled them.
Oh, we spoil a little bit. Yeah, we spoil
Okay,
a
I
little
just
bit.
watched Possession, so maybe I don't care about the other ones.
You know what? I think I cut out the spoilers. Like the episode was like 2 hours long, and then I cut it down to like an hour 40 because I just took out all the spoilers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so. There's one that's like we give away like the basic plot, but I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we're not here to talk about any of that stuff. We're here to talk about the latest and I think personally greatest horror movie of the year so far. I haven't seen Hatching yet. I haven't seen what's the other one that Jared recommended? The Innocents. I haven't seen those yet, but and I haven't seen Pearl yet. Maybe I'll love that more. Who knows? But for my money, Barbarian is up there so far this year. And we're gonna we're gonna talk about Barbarian. It's kind of taken the world by surprise. It doubled its projected box office earnings in its first week. Um, so the budget is 10 million. It was estimated to make 5 to 6 million in the first weekend, and it made 10. So I'm glad that they've already broken even and that they will make a profit on this movie because it's fantastic. Um, yeah, but before we talk about Barbarian, we just kind of have a whatever top five today. We're doing our top five takeout orders. So I'm just gonna pick five foods that I love to order takeout, and we're just gonna do it that way. Um, why don't you go first? What's your number one?
Top five takeout orders, not including hors d'oeuvres. Oh, der.
Stupid.
Was that funny?
So
Number five.
it's pretty stupid.
Number five. You know what? I'm fine. Really shouldn't be eating out. We've got food at home. I'm thinking rice. That's right.
That's your number five is rice.
That's right. My number five is rice. Not eating
Okay.
out, but eating leftover rice. Because that's what
Okay.
happens most of the time. I want to eat out. We eat rice.
I'm not sure that that counts, but that's okay. We'll move on.
Number five.
But number five. My number five is well done animal fries from In and Out. I think um, when you get them well done, they keep in your car as until you're able to stop and safely eat them. They taste fantastic. They are sweet, savory, and just a classic mess of a side dish. So I'm gonna go with animal fries for my number 5. What's your number 4, Josiah?
Number 4. I'm poor. I'm afraid I can't eat out tonight as I'm unable to provide the proper funds. Let me instead pour myself a glass of water.
Are you drinking beer at 10 a.m.?
Is that what time it is?
It's 10:38 a.m.
Number 4.
Number 4. Just
Drinking a glass of water.
Okay.
It's too late to go out. I don't have gas money.
Okay. For the folks at home, I did not know that he was going to do this until we started recording. All right. My number 4 is the number 13 at Jersey Mike's. It's the original Italian, as they call it. I don't know how original it is, but it tastes fantastic. If you get it Mike's way, you get all the flavors that Jersey Mike's has to offer in one sandwich. I've been getting it. I usually get it on rosemary, but lately I've been getting it on white bread and just letting the meat do like shine. And so I've been going with that for my number 4.
I remember I used to eat giant 13s right before volleyball games.
Is that what gave you your jumping power?
No, that's why I didn't have the ability to perform correctly.
It's ridiculous. It's so much cheese to eat before exercise.
I was taking naps right before games.
Yeah. What's your number 3?
Number 3, Jack in the Box on me. I've got a gift card for $15. That's 2.5 Munchie meals for the price of none.
Okay. Which Munchie meal?
You could save probably chicken tater meal. The Munchie meal is what is it? It's a sandwich. Chicken tater comes with chicken, tater, melt, and bacon.
Yeah.
And then 2 tacos, a mix of curly fries and fries, and a drink. All for $6.
Nice.
You can save a lot of money, especially with a gift card that you gave me. That was my graduation gift. $15 from Jack in the Box. You can save 15 pence just in the nick of time. That's 15 pence, nickel and dime.
Stupid. I'm pretty sure I gave you more than $15.
Oh, I haven't used it yet.
Oh, okay.
It might be more. But that's 3. Number 3.
Number 3. My number 3 is what is my number 3? I'm just going off the top of my head for mine. So there's a local burger joint in our hometown called Camarillo, and it's called Burger Barn, but I don't even order the burgers there anymore. So there's this breakfast burrito that they do called the Super Burrito, where it has bacon, sausage, and egg and potato. I add white gravy to it, and then I have them grill it, so it's nice and crispy on the outside, and the cheese melts on the inside. And then I get the salsa on the side, so you can make every single bite spicy if you want to. If you want to take a non-spicy bite, you can take it. To me, that's like my favorite breakfast burrito experience. I gotta go Burger Barn from Camarillo, California as my number 3 takeout order. For your number
2.
Okay.
A cheeseburger with not 1 patty, but 2.
Woo!
I'm cheating, because just any double cheeseburger, double baconator, a double quarter pounder with cheese and bacon, you name it. As long as it's a double cheeseburger, I'll inhale it.
How long did it take you to write these rhymes?
Just last night at like 2 a.m. and I proofread it tonight while taking a dump.
My number 2 is from San Francisco. It's called King Dumplings, and they have these fantastic pork and chive dumplings. They also had these amazing pot stickers or fried dumplings, pan fried dumplings. And I just remember, just being up, drinking at like 2 a.m., talking with my friends, and just eating dumplings and soy sauce and having a good time. They pretty much go with everything. I think it's like if a dumpling would count as fast food, I think it might be like the best like singular like fast food recipe in like as far as like global influence and like uh, reach. It's so good that the Italians stole it and call it ravioli. Um, and yeah, I gotta go with dumplings from Dumpling King in San Francisco as my number two. And to top it all off, Josiah.
Number one, Wingstop.
Hell yeah! What's your Wingstop order?
Well, our family always gets what lemon pepper, right? That's fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon pepper, and then I like Louisiana rub. I like the dry guys.
Nice. Yeah, I like the sauce stuff too. Um, that would actually be pretty close to my number one if I had room in my list. But yeah, yeah, Wingstop's always great. I think the thing that I wish they would get better at is the fries. Because when we get well done lemon pepper fries, like that works beautifully, I think. But when we get just if you just order fries, it's like it's kind of you might as well just order mashed potatoes, I think.
Just soggy taters.
Yeah, yeah,
You gotta douse with a ranch to
yeah.
take it down.
They're basically just ranch spoons. My number one is a local Oxnard joint. It's called Uptown Pizza. Did you have it when you were here
I think so. Is that the one?
with the sesame seeds on the crust?
Maybe not. Uptown Pizza. What's that?
So it's right by Outback, and it's not one that people in Camarillo or Oxnard people think about as like being better. I don't want to shit on Pizza Man Dan, but uh,
It's better.
it's better. It's way better. Like their crust doesn't taste both burnt and stale at the same time. Um, no, but they get a nice like char on the bottom. It's very crispy. It's very crunchy. I think Dave Portnoy would like it. But what's cool about it is like
Ooh.
all the guy the Barstool Sports guy. He does like pizza reviews. That's like the biggest thing of pizza on the internet. It's weird. I don't like it, but it's everybody watches that show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I've already shit on two businesses and brands. Um, yeah. So with Uptown Pizza, all fresh topping ingredients, all fresh dough. It's amazing. It's literally just two guys there, and they make a pizza better than anything else in Ventura County. I think so. I think so. And and it's like good price too. Like it's not too expensive. They don't charge you a ridiculous amount for a large. It's pretty standard large prices. It's cheaper than Toppers, and it's yeah, just better SoCal pizza.
What
You can
toppers
get.
did you get?
Um, I've been there a couple times. So we got one that was like a white pizza with like pesto and like garlic and like artichokes and stuff, and then we got like a meat lovers pizza. I've had just a standard pepperoni pizza, and that was awesome.
Wait, maybe I haven't. Is that the really small one?
The really small one, yeah, where it's like there was nowhere to sit.
Okay, I did go there. That was
Yeah,
really cold.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Uptown Pizza.
um, but yeah, that's our top five takeout orders, kind of.
Not including hors d'oeuvres.
Not including hors d'oeuvres. Not including hors d'oeuvres. All right. Shall we kick off with the Barbarian review?
Yep.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So my thoughts on the movie. Barbarian. I went into this movie knowing nothing. I didn't know the plot. I knew Georgina Campbell was in it. I didn't know Justin Long was in it. I knew Georgina Campbell and Bill Skarsgård were in it. That was it. I didn't know there. So I was very, very happy to see him pop up in the middle of the movie. For those of you who have not seen the film, I'll just say, stop watching right now. Go to the theater. Go watch it. I highly recommend it. I recommend watching it with other people. Um, we'll talk about rewatch experience later on, but the people were actually my favorite part about watching about the rewatch. And yeah, so but yeah, Barbarian basically follows a young woman named Tess who arrives in Detroit in the middle of the night and finds out that her Airbnb has been double booked with a guy named Keith, and she's a little suspicious. Maybe he's friendly. Maybe there's something else. But also, there's something else in the house. And I think this movie's fantastic. I had no idea where it was going to go. I loved all the performances. I think the director, despite being a first-time horror filmmaker, really knew the rules of horror movies. He understood them, and he performed them to a very high and very excellent degree. We also have a couple great cameos, or one great cameo from a horror movie actor that I love. Justin Long's performance is also really amazing. It's very against his type. Um, and yeah, the movie kind of talks about the disparity between the way men and the way women perceive danger. And I think in the writing, that's very clear. It works super well with the themes and with the confrontation with the titular barbarian. And yeah, I think it's also very neatly structured. It didn't feel like a mess, even though the movie does jump all over the place. It does so to surprise me. So I'm gonna give it a. There's literally just one thing that like made me roll my eyes. So I'm gonna give it a 9.8. I really love this movie a lot.
I also love this movie, and I also didn't know anything about it because I just saw or I guess I saw the poster. I didn't see. Did you see any trailers? I don't even remember trailers being in front of anything.
No,
That's
no,
what
I
I was
didn't see a
thinking. And
trailer.
then the one good thing about Twitter is that people are like, "Oh, watch Barbarian." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch Barbarian." I was bored. It was a Wednesday, and I was looking for a movie to watch. It's an early access thrills and chills. So I went at 7, and then I watched it, and I came out mind blown.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna give it a 9 point after a rewatch. Probably give it 9.5. Also,
9.5.
I don't understand your guys' decimal system.
It's just based on your feelings. It's just based
Okay.
on your feelings. Like you could be as fickle or as specific. You don't need to do decimals if you don't want to, but I don't know. I like it because like if I
I'll go
just gave
95 out of 100.
because like I've given so many nines on this show, and none of those movies will make my list.
At the end
I
of the
just,
year.
at the end of the year, so like I just don't want to. I just want people to know like okay, this is how I feel like about it. You know, yeah.
Also, I only knew Justin Long was in it.
Oh really? Okay.
And then maybe I think I knew Skarsgård was in it, but I think I forgot until he creepy as came in.
Yeah, so good. I
Like,
was
oh yeah,
like,
he's in here.
I love that he walked in or he was in the door. He's like, what do I look like, some kind of monster? I was like, yes, yes,
He backs
Pennywise.
as he backs into the shadows.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, that was it. Apparently he was the director's first choice to play him, and Zach Craker, by the way, Zach Craker is. He used to be part of a comedy troupe called White Boys You Should Know or something like I forget what it was called, but
I feel like
uh,
White Boys You Should Know. I feel like I've heard of that.
the whitest kids you know, the whitest kids you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the first title better. White Boys You Should Know.
What,
Justin Long.
I wish I could get to know Justin Long. He seems so nice. I love him. Yeah, we'll talk more about Justin Long's performance later on. But yeah, have you seen Georgina Campbell in anything else?
I don't think so. I looked her up and then I didn't recognize any of the stuff.
Yeah, I first saw her in Hang the DJ, which is
Oh,
the Black Mirror episode with John from
that's
Peaky Blinders.
that's season 4. I probably haven't seen it.
Maybe I don't remember what season it is because I jump around in Black Mirror. I still haven't seen all of them, but that's the one where it's like dating,
No,
and
I haven't seen
they
this one.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They have a dating app that tells them whether or not they'll actually end up together, and
Before?
but like when the date starts,
Oh,
like that's how it. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. I like it a lot. Um, I don't know. We could talk about performances first. We could talk about the directing. We could talk about the writing. For those of you who don't know, Josiah is actually a screenwriter, a very very good screenwriter. Um,
if you couldn't already tell from the written segment.
um, yeah. So, do you want to talk story structure first?
Okay.
What did you think about it, and what are your general thoughts about the story structure that Zach Kreger put together? How does it compare to other horror movies that you've seen this year? Yeah. What are your general thoughts, and we can dive deeper based on that.
I love it when movies delve away from traditional structure. And I
Yes.
know that's like a common thing to say, but after learning about structure, Blake Snyder and whatever Duncan, anything that delves from Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, I just
Yeah.
automatically love. And I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like they're trying something different. And even when stories don't do it well, I love it when story structure especially just takes me for a spin.
Yeah.
Especially with this one, because there's like three different there's three different times, right?
Yeah.
There's Georgina Campbell, Justin Long, and then the flashback. And I love how whenever the thing comes out with the mother,
Yeah.
whenever the mother comes out, it takes you away from it. Like it gives you a little taste, and then it takes you away from it, and then it gives you another story, and then each of those stories is then like shorter, you know? Like
Yeah.
Justin Long's was shorter than thing, and then the flashback was, I think, perfect because it already showed you the monster twice, and then you want to go back to the monster, and it gives you a very brief explanation. Shot like a video game, by the way. When it's
Yeah.
the one shot, and then it goes into the car, and he follows like the car goes.
Dude, such a great shot. Such a great shot. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, a lot of the story structure kind of came to him organically. Apparently, he was just kind of he was inspired by this quote in this book that was talking about. It was written by this guy who's like a security expert or something like that, and he was talking about the way women perceive danger in society, and he was saying like, and the guy in the book that the writer was reading said that all the things that are red flags for women, like little micro expressions that are red flags for women, society tells women to ignore those things, and they shouldn't. And so he was kind of inspired by that. He was like, okay, there's this girl, and she shows up at an Airbnb, and the guy's like, and they end up in the basement, and he's the killer, and it's gonna end. And he's like, okay, where's this going? Like, I guess he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't care. It's like, okay, well, what if a giant woman came in and smashed the guy's head against the wall? And then, and then he just stopped writing. He's like, wait, no, I can actually make something out of this. And so he made the Barbarian from that idea, which is so beautiful, I think.
Amazing, because that's exactly how you feel as a viewer.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I was
I don't.
watching it with on the rewatch. I watched it with one of my roommates,
Yeah.
He didn't know it was a horror movie, dumbass. He, oh, I was like right next to me in the theater. Like, dude, shut.
Yeah. I was sitting next to these two Hispanic dudes who kept like joking to each other in the middle of the movie, and they were like on the rewatch, and I was like, oh man, I really wish these guys would just like sit back and relax because it's gonna get crazy. And then the mother showed up, and they were like, what the fuck, bro? And it was so great. It was so great, and they were super into it. Everybody was really into it after that point. I think they because you're kind of just like going through the horror movie motions before that, which is fine. Which is fine. Like it's still a good like thriller, um, and it's still really well made. Like the fake out jump scares when they're trying to sleep and they like there's a Keats having a nightmare, stuff like that. I also love that he for Justin Long's character specifically he avoids the save the cat thing, which I hate in writing. It's like the worst rule ever. Oh, the main character has to do something good so that you root for them. I'm like, no, they don't. No, they
There
don't.
was a point in the theater on the first time I was watching. There was a point where I felt like a dick because I'm like, damn, I'm kind of rooting for a rapist right now, huh? Ah, shit, this is good writing.
Yeah, it's really good writing, and like he's so funny. He's so charming. He's Justin Long. Like he's playing like a really evil version of Justin Long, who doesn't even know that he's evil, which I think is part of his charm and also part of what makes him so dangerous as a character. Like by the end, I should just make an audio bite that says spoiler alert because I didn't even give a spoiler alert before going into the spoiler section. I'll do that later. Anyway, sorry. By the end, he's already rationalizing, killing Tess or trying to kill Tess while he's helping her, like in the same way that he tried to rationalize him raping the actress. It's like it's so crazy that that guy was like, it's just natural for him to do. Um,
And that makes me think he has the best character arc because he doesn't really have an arc.
right.
Like you think he does when he's monologuing by the fireplace. He's like, I think I hurt someone. I can fix this. I can fix it. And the whole everything before that, he's trying to fix something that he did.
Yeah.
Try to get money. You raped a girl and you're trying to get more money. Like you're trying to fix a problem. You can't fix it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the mother shows up again, he's like, oh nope, help myself once again. No.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Which yeah, so I love that they started off his story and you're learning about him doing this thing and you're like I wasn't sure what they were doing with that. I was like, okay. Okay. I know this is a pro women movie, but what are you doing? Come on. Like I like obviously I don't think that harassment and assault is good in a professional environment or in any environment. But
Really.
yeah, isn't that crazy? But the way movies have been talking about it, the way TV has been talking about it, is very it's very hit or miss for me. A lot of the latest shows and the latest movies that have brought it up have kind of just brought it up. They haven't really done anything interesting with with those things. I would say the morning show is maybe the one of the better examples, but yeah, I think this one is very interesting because it kind of puts you in the shoes of someone who did do a bad thing, and then he admits it to his friend at the bar, and then admits it to her on the voice message, and then like just goes on with his day, just goes on trying to like get more square footage out of a Detroit house, like try to list it, which I don't even know what he was thinking. Like it's in the worst neighborhood ever, and you're just trying to get you're just trying to I don't like it's so stupid, so otherworldly stupid, but he like it works super well because it's not one of those horror movies where the characters know that they're in a horror movie. Like they're very much all walking in completely blind the way we are, and it totally works to me, I think.
Yeah, I sit next to people who were talking. They're like, "Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Still move. Still move."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Shut up!" Like,
yeah,
suspend your disbelief for 1 minute. It's a horror movie. These guys don't know they're in a horror movie. If she doesn't walk through that door, we don't have a movie.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. And like I that's my thing about like meta horror is like we gotta put a limit on how much we can do it because too many people are becoming aware of horror tropes now. Too many people are like too conscious of it, and so they expect it out of every movie now. They
Yeah,
expect it out of every horror movie. Like not every horror movie can be Scream. Not every horror movie can be X or Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. You know, like you gotta just let uh, you gotta just let normal people get into terrifying situations again. Like that's just I don't know. I like
also,
it. I like it better when they get
al-
creative with that.
also around the house, I always hear like knocking or shifting of feet when I'm home alone, and
Yeah,
I go and check it out just without thinking.
yeah,
It's just
one
a
hundred
thing
percent.
too. Also, I didn't know. I didn't well, on the first watch or on the rewatch. I was thinking, oh, I love how this movie doesn't really have a thematic statement. But then, no, there is a thematic statement when Skarsgård and Georgina Campbell are talking about men and women entering a house. I'm like, oh, that's the whole movie
That's
right
the
there.
whole movie. Yeah,
They do have a thematic statement.
yeah. Because like I mentioned it earlier, it's about the disparity between the way men perceive danger and the way women perceive danger. So, you know, automatically the movie is so much scarier when we're in Tessa's shoes. Because we feel everything that she's feeling, which is not just a credit to the director; it's a credit to Campbell as well. Um, but with Long's character, what's his name again in the film?
I don't know. I don't know character names.
Um, oh man, it's the same thing with AJ's character. Like when he's going into the house, like he's just stumbling in blindly. He's not a care in the world. You know, totally unconscious of the bloody handprint that's on the wall. Like that's a huge red flag. I'm a man, and that's a huge red flag. I'm like, no, I'm out of there. I'm not gonna stay in this house. And Keith thinking that he can go check it out by himself. Like, like, come on, man. Um, so okay, so
Also, she was so much more hesitant. She saw all the red flags, and she still goes through everything.
yeah,
It's amazing.
it's so good. It's so good. And so wait, did the mother grab Keith while he was in there, or did he actually go through that second door? I couldn't figure that out.
I think he just definitely, or I think he just stepped through the second. I think he just saw the second door and went through.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
but maybe actually, I don't know.
He said something bit me. He didn't say something grabbed me. So it's probably that he went down there on his own. But I'm like,
He said
why
something
would?
bit me, and he's like, "Oh, it's behind you," and it wasn't. It was behind him.
Yeah.
He had no idea where. So I think he went down there.
Okay. Yeah, that was really dumb. But but it worked pretty. It worked super well for the movie. How else did we could talk about performances next? So yeah, we got Bill Skarsgård, who was second billing on the movie, and I know you didn't know that he was in it. But what did you think about Keith's character and all that? We've talked a little bit about AJ and Tess, but not much
Played
about
to
Keith.
perfection.
Yes.
He just automatically has like a skeletal structure to his face. That's not everybody has. He
Yeah.
looks evil, and he looks at her through the window. He looks evil, and then even the way he's lit, like it just accentuates his skeletal structure. Like
Yeah.
his nose popping out and his eyes popping out. It's really good. I was thinking on the rewatch, you could get a bunch of stills from that first part of the movie and like draw people in to watch the movie. Just out
Yeah.
of context stills from him under the blanket dressed as a ghost, him in the shadows, backing away into the shadows, him waiting with a wine bottle for her to come. You could, you could have his entire character is a red herring. You could come up with so many images from that movie and get people to watch it from those creepy ass stills.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that scene with the wine bottle was maybe my first laugh in the film. I was like,
Oh,
such a.
I saw you didn't do the tea, so I thought I could open it for you. And what are you doing? Stop. Go to
Yeah,
bed.
the dudes next to me on the rewatch were like, he's trying way too hard, bro. I was like, yeah, yeah. Like, cause right, like it seemed like he's being genuine. He's trying to be nice, but he doesn't even know how scary he is. Which is so funny, but especially on the rewatch. But for when you're watching it for the first time, it's it really keeps you on your toes, man. I'm like, okay, no, it's too obvious. He can't be the bad guy, or oh, maybe he's bad, but there's gonna be something worse. Like that's what I was thinking was like, oh, there's like an actual barbarian, like because I saw the pink and I was like, oh, maybe there's like a portal to another world where there are barbarians. Like I don't know why it's even called barbarian even now. I do know it's a stupid reason, but I'll get into it later. Um, but yeah, I agree with the way he's lit in the film. I think it's fantastic. I think his physique. He's so tall too. I forget how tall he is until he like opens a door, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like.
Even when he's crawling in the dungeon, you think he's the villain, even though he's like running away afraid.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, no, he's leading her into a trap. This is too easy. Like, and then nope, dies right there. I was like,
Like
oh man.
I got chills down my spine the first time that the mother came out.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest I flinched in forever. Like, I can't remember a time that I've flinched that hard. I don't. Maybe it was, yeah, maybe it was Hereditary that I flinched that hard.
The
But that was,
rewatch, two women actually just walked out.
oh really?
They're like, yeah, I'm not. What is this? It wasn't what they were expecting. They just
Y-
walked out. I never saw them.
Yeah, um, yeah, that makes sense. And it's definitely like it. It's even more off-putting when they cut from that to Malibu, and they're like,
To
and
Justin Long just not even lip syncing correctly to a really fast song.
and they also like I think both times I watched it, I heard people verbally say, "What's happening right now?" Um, which is great. Yeah, yeah, I think it's a good Keith's arc is a good I guess I don't know about cautionary tale, but it's like a good like I guess note to men not to to try and step into women's shoes and see how their behavior might affect someone's day or might affect might have how someone else might react to their behavior. Um, we also have not talked about the mother very much, played by Matthew Patrick Davis, who's this is also his first feature, I think, as a monster, his first creature feature, as he says in the interviews. He's only they were really good about the makeup, like it looks super real to me, and it apparently only took them 3 hours to do it, but it looks beautiful. It looks like a 6 hour job. Um, What'd you think about the mother's design? What'd you think about the mother's character arc? What'd you think about all that?
Yeah, design does the job. It's a tall ass naked lady running at you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Character arc. Mm, I don't know. I wasn't really or I don't know. What do you think about it? And then I'll just go off you.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think the design is like, oh, that's the barbarian, right? That's immediately what we're thinking. Like, that's this like kind of primal like creature that doesn't have a thing for social interactions for like modern social interactions and whatever civilization, whatever we think of civilized behavior. um, and to some extent that's true. I think maybe the barbarian is the serial killer, but Frank, um, but the mother is really interesting. Like it's the product of a long chain, a long line, a long family tree of incest and rape, and so it's this very uh, crazy looking creature. Over like almost 7 foot tall. One thing that I loved about the sound design specifically of the mother is that every step she takes has weight. Like it really like she feels heavy, like she feels like a force of nature when she enters a room. She feels like, oh man, like there's no way they can fight this thing. um she survives getting hit by a car. She survives falling off a water tower, like a 40-foot water tower, um or 30 foot, I don't know. And yeah, it's a crazy looking creature. And I I love that she kind of just also wants to have her just wants to have a baby. Like she just wants to like she also doesn't know how scary she is. And um I think, you know, growing up in those tunnels and kind of coexisting with the slow degradation of Detroit right above her head, and having nothing to do but watch these like motherhood videos, and these like really tender, like kind of creepy to us, but like to her I'm sure it was very tender. And she's also probably thinking of her own mother when she does all that stuff. It's Yeah, I guess she does. I guess it's misleading to say that she has like an arc, because she just kind of has one thing that she wants the entire time. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really unique monster for that. I think it also it's weird that I don't know exactly how it marries to the rest of the film, but they kind of juxtapose her as a monster of maternity, and then Frank as the monster of paternity. Like, what's the worst possible father? What's the worst possible mother? Yeah, I don't know.
Also, did the mother only attack people who weren't running away?
Pretty. Kind of. I think it's also like an aggression thing. Like she didn't attack Keith until he started screaming at Tess.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like he stops whispering and he actually raises his voice. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. And then that's when the mother attacks, because she's there, like she's in the shadows watching. I'm assuming, like she's not just, you know. And then so she, but she doesn't automatically attack. What's his name? AJ. Right.
Yeah.
She starts by feeding him and by babying him, um, and by kind of training him to be the baby, uh, which is crazy. Yeah, that was the grossest scene in the movie. Oh my gosh, like you like it's um, I think that's also why the save the cat the why the anti save the cat thing doesn't works as well, because like the fact that he's already done something bad, like kind of makes that scene more palatable. I think, like it's still gross and it's still a horrible violation of a person, but like, you know, it's happening to a rapist. So so I don't it doesn't bother me, like it doesn't keep me up at night, like the forcing him to breastfeed. It is disgusting and it is terrifying while it's happening.
So gross. You see the hairs on the bottle.
The bottle, yeah, and then Apparently, there was a scene. There's a deleted scene where she masticates a rat for him, and like mama birds him.
They should have kept that in.
I agree, but whatever.
Also,
Um,
I didn't know this, but on the Wikipedia it said that um, Georgina's down there for 2 weeks.
yeah, for
That's
two
awful.
weeks. Yeah.
So she didn't get that job then.
I mean, I'm sure once they.
No, she's like, no,
No.
I need a researcher now.
I forgot about that line. Yeah, I guess she didn't get the job.
Sucks. Barbarians, man.
Taking people's jobs. Uh, and then Frank, played by the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Richard Brake.
Wait, where's that guy? Where's that guy also been? Is that who you were talking about with like the great or like the good horror actor?
Yeah, he's in Rob Zombie movies. Um,
Oh, okay.
did you see 31?
No, I've only seen House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, he's not in that one. He became known from Rob Zombie's 31, and then he was in 3 from Hell, which is the sequel to Devil's Rejects.
Which is a sequel to Thousand Corpses, right?
Yeah, which is a sequel. So yeah, it's the final film in that trilogy.
So he's just not in the one I watched.
Yeah.
He looks familiar.
You've probably seen him in other places. Let me see where else he is.
He has one of those faces where I'm like, ooh, this guy, and then where is
uh, he was. Oh, he's the guy that shot Bruce Wayne's parents in Batman Begins.
he? Okay.
He's in Don't Breathe, but I don't know who he plays there. He's in Kingsman, but I don't know who he plays there.
Okay, so he just has a recognizable face.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Oh, he's the chemist in Mandy. That's
Okay.
probably where you've seen him most recently.
Okay.
They wronged you, man. I love it. But yeah, I'm obsessed with Richard Brake. He has this fantastic 5-minute monologue in the beginning of 31 because he's like this killer who wears clown makeup, and he's just talking into the camera like in a full on Bergman close up for 5 minutes, about how he kills, and I've been obsessed with him ever since. I think he's the best. He's so good. He's also in Game of Thrones. But yeah, he briefly appears in the film as Frank. I think the first time I watched it, I audibly said yes when he walked out of the house. But I had no idea the connection until I saw him stalking the woman in the thing. I was like, oh, that's what this movie is. Holy shit. Yeah. What were your thoughts about that scene? I know you briefly said something about the sequence, but about the character and about how he ends and his process.
Yeah, I was a bit taken aback when he shot himself, but I guess he's just scared of the police, huh? Because he gets scared when he hears Justin Long talking about that fool's nasty, bro. What the hell?
Yeah.
But other than that whole sequence I was just engrossed by how cool it looked. I kind of set aside the barbarianism. Not gonna lie, I was like, "Man, this looks cool."
Yeah.
He turns the water on and unlocks the door. I'm like, kind of a good idea. Movie-wise,
yeah. Because that way you could tell the audience that, oh, she's gonna die without actually showing her die.
and he's done this countless times before. That's the
Yeah.
worst part.
Yeah. How many
Also,
tapes were on that shelf? That's a lot.
He had a whole Criterion collection with VHS tapes.
Stupid. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
Something about the tapes. Something about he had a lot of them.
I don't remember.
It's okay. Yeah, and there was also that, and him interacting with his neighbor, but the neighborhood's going to hell, and them leaving Detroit.
Was that about black people?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. But also
so at least the rapist wasn't racist.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was. But
Did you notice one of them? It said puker or like vomiter. I'm
yeah,
like, dude, come on, like chill out.
puker. Didn't stop crying was one of them.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty crazy, pretty heavy. I'm glad they didn't show the footage. I was like, oh man, I hope they don't. uh,
yeah.
but because it was just enough to see Justin Long imagining it. Yeah, that was pretty rough. I
Oh,
had a
I was gonna say, I remember what I was gonna say. The guy who made Eyes Without a Face, I don't remember his name.
Eyes Without a Face. Oh, because of the cages.
Oh, George Franju. Well, he's in an interview. He talks about like what scares him is like normal people who are acting normal but doing crazy or violent stuff, and
Yeah,
this Frank is the epitome of that. Just going through the motions of being an absolute scumbag criminal.
yeah.
Just yeah, just keeps a jumpsuit in his car. Carlos.
It's so crazy.
That was very, like as crazy and it's also just very effective
Yeah,
writing.
I agree. I agree. The tool bag too. Like the tool bag is pretty much just a prop. Um,
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. Um, and yeah, yeah, yeah. Where was I going with that? I'm gonna cut all the gaps. By the way, it's fine. And us googling. uh, um, yeah, we talked a little bit about the direction. Um, I know you mentioned that the flashback seemed like a video game, um, but also the camera style changes a lot when we go into the basement. It goes into really really wide, like 24 to 18 millimeter lenses, and the camera's like right up to their face. I know we just watched Evil Dead 2 before you left, and I've really felt that influence, specifically in that element. Yeah, I don't know. What did you pick up?
Also when it cuts to his first person, I was in the
Oh,
theater like this. Immediately, like, such a cool shot. It's like unnecessarily cool.
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, he's not doing anything with the knife. It's like, come on. But it's still a cool shot.
My biggest laugh in the movie was when he first picks up the knife and he's like at the top of the stairs in the basement. He's like, "All right, bitch, get ready to get fucked."
There's a bunch of great one-liners. He's like in the face, yo yo. Shut up. Or even just the lock. His delivery on everything's amazing. Even just the lockbox, and there's nothing in there, dude. Like a completely no. Like I know that guy.
Yeah, 100%. I know 10
Dude.
of those guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. Um, uh, when he's on the phone with his mom, he's like, it's like this fucking bitch is lying. It's like, honey, don't say that.
She is. I know, but you shouldn't be saying stuff like.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. When he throws the laptop, this is so good.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah, the director was talking about casting Justin Long, and he was like saying he's like, I need someone who's because he was gonna look at like kind of a dude bro, like a frat guy, and so he originally asked Zac Efron, and Zac Efron said no. Um, so he was like, okay, well, maybe I've been thinking about this all wrong. Because the real dangerous, like the most dangerous people are the ones that you don't really expect, and the ones that like kind of like it's even more insidious when they use their charm and their physical weakness to prey upon women, and and So he's like, I need someone who's like the Tom Hanks of his generation. So, and he's like, yeah, Justin Long is Tom Hanks and Big. I got to go with Justin Long. So it was great. I think that's perfect casting. I agree. Um, and then any more notes you have about Tess, about Georgina Campbell, the lead? Um, I think she killed it in every scene. I felt everything that she was feeling. Um, the way she's able to manipulate the mother is really really smart too. Like you can tell, like okay, this person's definitely like been here for a while. Yeah.
I think she
Um,
was. I think she was great, and I think she was a great horror screamer.
yeah. Yeah.
Especially when she gets kind of annoying when she's in the basement. She's like, Keith, Keith, I'm like, shut up, what?
Yeah.
But she's still like really good at like, that kind of scream.
Yeah. Like the way her voice breaks and stuff. It's really it's real. Like it feels real. Um, and like the when she's like trying to get the cops over, I was like my I was filled with like so much dread. I was like, bro,
Cops,
if they shoot her, I'm gonna be so mad.
man, get your hands off the vehicle. It's like,
Dude,
dude, come.
and the just the shift in her expression, like, oh shit, like
Even the dispatch lady, I was laughing kind of hard. She's like, ma'am, calm down. I'm like, oh, don't tell her to calm down. Someone's outside her house. Ma'am, calm down.
but that's what's so smart about choosing Detroit is kind of like, these people deal with,
Yeah,
probably 20 to 30 violent crimes a day. And that's like not maybe not 20 to 30, maybe 10 to 20 violent crimes a day. So like like it's bad and it's horrible that they ignore her, but it's Detroit. Like that's just what happens, and
that's the other. That's the other thematic statement. Is can't have shit in Detroit.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. I'm happy that they didn't kind of exploit that city for like what it was. Like they filmed in Bulgaria and then built a fake neighborhood, um, and then they shot the when she's just walking out on the street. I think they shot that in Detroit, but everything else is like, um, yeah, um, yeah. Anything else you want to add about the movie? I know we both really love it. We both kind of said everything that we liked, but anything you didn't like?
What was the part you rolled your eyes at?
When she said nope.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, why keep it in the movie if she's gonna go in anyway? Or why play it that way? Like we're already doing so well not taking the meta approach to film. Like why would you add a joke about horror movies in a movie where the characters are already like in a movie that's not cheeky about horror movies at all? Like why would you add that joke in there? I don't know. I know it's probably just that the filmmaker likes it, but I don't know. I feel like it could have been they could have done a different take where it felt like more organic, not like a wink to the camera. I don't know.
I do like the element of B movie at the third act or at the end, but there's also kind of like I don't know, on the rewatch, I was kind of like, maybe it's just that element of surprise on the first watch that got me so hyped about it because I don't know where it's going and it just goes bonkers, bonkers, you know.
Yeah,
Then on the rewatch, I'm kind of like, oh, all right. And I
it's
think that's
under.
kind of, yeah, I think that's kind of what bumped it down. I think a lot of what makes the movie work for it is the element of surprise that keeps coming at you. But maybe I just watched it too close together. I was gonna watch it a third time, but I watched Pearl instead.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it a third time. Maybe not in theaters, but just so I can like really like invest myself in the colors and stuff like that, and the music too. The music is great. Um, Super synth heavy. Uh,
It starts since when she opens the door, right?
yeah,
Because other than that, it's like piano and a little bit of just low orchestra, and then when she opens the door, dun 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 dun.
yeah,
Yes, yes. And then every
yeah.
time it opens the door, there's a synth theme, which I think is cool.
I agree. I agree. I had a feeling that they'd go that direction with the soundtrack just because of the font of the titles. I was like, okay, so they're doing like 80s stuff. Like, this is kind of cool. Um, and the use of the neon pink in the title, too. Uh, yeah, I agree about the end. I still think it's like good to look at, and it's still like it's still like looks dope. That like a low budget arm getting ripped off, and then like beating someone. The idea of someone getting beaten to death with their own arm sounds awesome. Or looked and sounded awesome. I think the only thing that maybe that I would, or maybe not the only thing, but the thing where I agree with you the most about the B movie not working is when the mother jumps to save her. There's always an involuntary laugh in every watch that or in both of the watches that I saw,
Yeah.
because it's such a weird image. And it doesn't look, yeah, it just looks weird. It looks bizarre. It works for the story, but I'm like, I'm like, maybe they should have, like, just had the mother jump, from like AJ's perspective. I think that would have been better. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I
Uh,
rolled my eyes when the dude is like, "I've been here 15 years, and she's never been here," and then she comes out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, come on.
yeah, yeah,
But I guess that was because they were talking really loud.
for sure, for sure. And I think she's always known that he was there, but he didn't always have Tess there, and I think that's why she goes after him.
Also, do you think that there's more in the basement? Because
Yes.
that guy was saying, yeah, I hope there's a sequel. That guy was saying, oh, she's not even the worst thing in there. And
Well,
you see her back away from Frank's door, but also I think,
there's a whole other door on the other side.
yeah, there's still way more than that.
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, so the if you turn left at the bell, maybe that's where they dispose the bodies. Like maybe that's where Keith's body is. But there probably is more down there. I think when the I forget the homeless guy's name, but when he's talking about the worst thing, I think he was talking about Frank.
Okay.
Yeah, because he knows what Frank did. He's seen people. He's seen Frank take people down there. Um, I don't know why he didn't say anything. But yeah, it's. Oh, but then again, like whenever you say something, they don't believe you. So it's whatever. Um, yeah, I hope there's a sequel as well. Like I would.
You'd also think that Frank would be like a better or like a bigger threat if he says that right before, you know?
Right, right,
Which like you see that he is worse than his daughter, but he doesn't really do it. He just offs himself.
right. I don't know. I don't know. What else would you like to see down there? Like another incest monster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger and bloodier. Every sequel's got to be bigger and bloody.
I agree. I agree. I don't know.
But then I guess
Uh,
even a sequel, you kind of it'd have to be completely different. Like you couldn't do like the amount of twists you did for the first one. You'd have to kind of go full either B movie or like action movie, I think.
right. I'd go action. I'd
Yeah,
go
you'd have to.
action.
Yeah, but I'd also
Uh,
be fine if there's no sequel. But there's probably gonna be a sequel because
Probably.
I think horror movies need sequels.
They need them.
Unpopular opinion. Not
It,
all of them. This
right.
like movies like this.
I was like, how would you make a sequel to Midsommar? It's
Like movies like this, like monster movies or slasher movies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be first in line to see it if I heard that Krager was working on another one. He has been pretty, like, he's been open about literally everything except, like, details about the basement. So I'm thinking that's because he wants to build the world more.
You think he has his own blueprint?
Probably, probably.
Did you see the reel he made to sell it to people?
No.
He made like a reel out of YouTube videos or other movies, and then he used his wife's voiceover, like on a phone call or something,
Oh,
talking
wow.
about the basement. I didn't watch the full thing, but it's really cool.
All right, I'll check it out. Is
And
it
you
on YouTube?
see, I saw it on Twitter. It's probably on YouTube. And then, like you see, I saw the parasite, the eyes scene when he's coming up from the basement.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
He uses that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's the first thing I thought of when he keeps going deeper and deeper to the basement. I love movies where they just keep going, like Parasite.
Yeah.
I know Parasite's not the first one that did it, but
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta watch that. Also, his wife is Sarah Paxton, who I think is one of the voices on the phone call in the in the first part of AJ's story.
oh okay.
But Sarah Paxton is Aquamarine from back in the day. Do you remember that one?
Aquamarine.
That Teen Mermaid movie?
No. Oh, was Krager
Joe.
also? Was he the other guy on the phone?
No, he was the friend in the bar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So that was Barbarian. That was our spoiler review of Barbarian. Go check it out in theaters. If I'm assuming you've already watched it. If you're watching this, so go watch it again. It's a very interesting rewatch. Go watch and listen to other people's reactions during the rewatch because that's part of the fun, I think. And that's gonna be the gift that keeps on giving with this movie because I can't wait to show this to my friends on DVD or something.
Yeah, as much as possible, try to watch horror movies in crowded theaters.
Yeah.
Because you can hear the gasps, and you see people walk out, and you hear people say under their breath, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Alrighty. Thank you for doing this. We got to get you on the show again soon. Or no, I don't know. Whatever you...
You ever do Over the Hedge?
We can do Over the Hedge. Do you want to do an episode about Over the Hedge?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do Over the Hedge. All right. Anyway, folks, that was Barbarian. That was our top 5 takeout orders. We love you. Goodbye.
Let's go. What a lovely day.
Andy, there's a whole world out there. Jump in.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
You must always pay strict attention.
I was just completely enamored by it the entire time.
Dude, he did not have to go that hard.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
The Jared Cast.